You're passionate about your singing, you practice diligently, you always prepare your voice with a well-disciplined warm-up, and you pace your vocals with good periods of rest. But have you taken a moment to consider your diet? How does your diet affect your voice? We better find out.
Sound check. Check one, check two.
G'day everyone, welcome to another Voice Essentials video. My name is Dr. Dan and I'm an Australian-based singing voice specialist. It's my lofty aim in life to help you realise the full potential of your singing voice. So if you want to get the most out of your vocals, then take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Now, as vocal athletes, we need to consider every aspect of our existence and how our everyday habits might be impacting the condition of our voice. Our emotional state, the amount of sleep we do or don't get, and the physical health of our body all contribute to the capacity and capability of our instrument, the voice. So it stands to reason that our diet would have a significant effect on how our voice behaves. Garbage in, garbage out, right? And the opposite is also true. Goodness in, goodness out. So today we're going to look at those foods and fluids that singers need to consider limiting or avoiding altogether, as well as some of the foods and fluids that are beneficial to the instrument as a whole. Before proceeding, it's important for me to state that I am not a nutritionist, nor am I a medical doctor, so the advice I'm about to offer, while well researched, is general in nature and should be applied to your specific person as such. General. As always, your particular health concern should always be directed to your family physician. With that all being said, let's firstly tackle the big one, dairy. Singers often ask me, is it safe to drink milk before singing? Well, there is little to no research evidence to suggest that dairy products have a negative impact on the voice. Now, this being said, I know that personally, a milk-based product like a smoothie or flavoured milkshake will leave me with a sensation of thickness through the throat. So I join with Lita Skirse in advising, despite the lack of evidence, many singers still swear that dairy makes them have an increased sensation of mucus in the throat. I usually say if that's how it feels to you, and if it feels better when you don't consume dairy, then heed what your body is telling you and avoid it. What is certainly not advisable is to cut dairy out of your diet altogether. The US Department of Agriculture recommends that adults should consume 3 cups of dairy per day. 1 serving from the dairy group is equivalent to 1 cup of milk, yogurt or soy milk, 1.5 ounces of natural cheese or 2 ounces of processed cheese. Personally, I get a good portion of my dairy intake from my 2 double shot flat white coffees every day. But Dr. Dan, isn't caffeine a big no-no? Well, yes and no. You see, caffeine used to be on the list as highly dehydrating. Now, again, due to recent research, coffee lovers across the globe can rejoice because the body adjusts to its effects and excessive water loss is not a concern. So daily intake of a usual amount of caffeine does not cause dehydration. But before you go on a caffeine bender, there is a caution that comes from our newfound freedom. Caffeinated drinks such as coffee are highly acidic, so they can heighten the risk and severity of reflux. I've got another video dedicated to the discussion of reflux and its impact on the voice, which I'll leave a link to below. But suffice to say, reflux, if left unmanaged, can lead to significant issues for the singer. So that brings me to the word moderation. Much of what we have discussed thus far and are yet to cover is governed by the age-old wisdom of moderation. Not too little and not too much. Take, for example, the consumption of alcohol. It's not for me to tell you to give up the booze, but I do need to encourage you towards moderation. Alcohol is the double whammy. It is both highly acidic and classed as a diuretic, and it's for both of these reasons that I always advise singers to avoid alcohol consumption 24 hours before any performance. And Christina Shewell, in her book Voice Work, heightens my instruction, writing, "Never drink alcohol before a performance or important speech. There are effects on concentration and awareness as well as the voice." It may have become apparent to you by now that one of our aims as singers is to keep the body hydrated. I've said it many times on this channel, drink 6 to 8 glasses of water every day, sipping your H2O quota over your waking hours. Now, Water not only helps to lubricate the vocal folds and replenish the mucosal lining of the vocal tract through the bloodstream, it also helps to transport your body's much needed nutrients through the bloodstream. And this brings us to the question of, so what should I be eating to get the most out of my voice? Well, Nasser and Dedarian write that determining individualized energy requirements is a crucial component of the diet prescription. Energy and fluid imbalances can be detrimental to performance. Early fatigue, cognitive decline, and poor thermoregulation are a few of the potential consequences. You see, we all have diverse dietary needs because our energy output levels, combined with our individual metabolic rates, are different. A person with a sedentary desk job that requires virtually no movement during work hours, for example, will need a vastly different daily nutrient menu to someone working a trade where physical movement isn't ever constant. So in short, the application of our aforementioned rule of moderation needs to be applied to your personal circumstance. In general, we all need a combination of carbohydrates, fats, and protein. These macronutrients, when balanced correctly, contribute to a healthy body. Carbohydrates and fats are the primary sources of energy in a healthy diet. Proteins in the body function as enzymes, hormones, antibodies, collagen, and the structural materials. Now, before we close, I just want to draw your attention to this fantastic list of Performance Day meal planning. Adapted from the US Department of Agriculture My Plate Daily Checklist, Nasser and Dedarian have put together a fabulous meal guide for optimal performance output. Notice how the meal plan doesn't overindulge in any one food group. I'll be keen to hear how you go when applying this meal plan to your next pre-performance disciplines. Nasser and Dedarian qualify the performance meal plan, stating that recommendations for pre-performance meals are designed to provide sufficient portion sizes and proportions of macronutrients and fluids in order to 1. Sustain energy and prevent early fatigue that can result in decrease in voice quality, 2. Diminish feelings of hunger, and 3. Optimize hydration. They go on to instruct that any main meal consumed before a performance should be ingested 3 to 4 hours before singing to allow time for the stomach to empty its contents into the small intestines. I hope that is all helpful as you seek to improve your diet for the betterment of your voice. As we close, I keenly invite your feedback about today's topic in the comments section below, but given the nature of the subject, I would ask that all comments refrain from offering dietary advice. Any comments that I deem to be unhelpful will be deleted. This is a tricky subject for many singers, and I don't want to muddy the waters with wacky conspiracy theories, so please comment, but do so wisely. I look forward to seeing you all again in the next Voice Essentials video. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.